Championship fever begins for the Highline Racing League as the series enters November in Season 18. Welcome back on FTN Broadcasting to coverage of the Westlake Royal Building Products Premier Series. 3 races remain in the calendar, and this is the first of which in your month of November, Phoenix Raceway. Been a long time coming, but ever since Season 16, we haven't been here. More than a year's worth of time has spread apart this track from the calendar, and it returns again today. From the virtual Avondale, Arizona, welcome back to Phoenix. Qualifying on the move, 2 minutes and 40 seconds remain, and drivers are taking times as we speak. I'll be your host for tonight's event, commentating and producing. I'm David Croix, and it's wonderful to return. You might have remembered last time we went at it just about 2 weeks ago. Well, we said it would be a dirt event. It's not the case, unfortunately. We're bringing it back to the pavement tonight. In large part, that's due to setup stability. We know exactly how it's going to drive at these oval circuits. Dirt tracks, very challenging with the Xfinity cars, simply because we've never seen the Xfinity cars take on a dirt circuit in real life, save for, of course, when we had the Bristol Dirt Circuit in 2021. Otherwise, other tracks would be almost entirely unfeasible, and Bristol's a challenge in itself, so a few changes were made to make sure that everyone's on a level playing field with a track that's more familiar. And so tonight, the new track randomizer decided, and it called upon Phoenix to return to the calendar once again. Let's take a look at what drivers are doing right now with 1 minute and 42 seconds remaining on your timing sheet. Championship leader Alan Kunman is going to grab the pole. He was additionally first in practice. Right now, he definitely does look like the overall perhaps race favorite, but there's a lot of time to go to decide that. Kendall Kerr's teammate's going to find himself 21st. DJ Stagner jumps up to second. Very strong run there for the 64. And Jason Harris now looks to be the last man going. Every driver has taken a time, all 24 of which, and this will be Jason's last. Colton Gardner attempted and started his second lap. Could not get across the line for it all the while. Jason Harris here, he's going to be the last of which to go and complete a 2-lap run. Across the line, Jason loose, but this should be good enough for improvement, and it will be exactly what he set the first time around, dead heat, so he'll stay 17th. No additional changes to the Acme number 88 Ford Mustang tonight. Colton Gardner is going to be in 5th, and a very strong run for the number 40. Colton is on pit road, wasn't able to finish that second lap, but the first one going to put him up to his qualifying high on the season. Same goes for Ryan Potter, who was only 1,000th of a second quicker and the aforementioned Colton Gardner, both of which are going to be starting 4th and 5th, and they were only about 1,000th up on Scott Wheeler, who finds himself just behind. Very close qualifying, especially up at the front of the field, so it's about time now that we see what's going on with our starting grid when they go into formation. Qualifying has concluded. Alan Kunman will grab the pole position in pursuit of what could be win number 3 on the campaign. So now drivers putting themselves in line. It's a 125 lap feature. Last time we went here, a very familiar driver got the checkered flag. A man who is with us tonight, although he will not be starting at the front of the field. He'll be more so in the mid-pack. We'll talk about your previous Phoenix winner alongside many other contenders tonight as we take a look throughout your starting grid from the beginning to the very end. Inside of row number 1, it's going to be Alan Kunman who grabs the pole position. Next to him will be DJ Stagner, who starts in 2nd, number 64, and the number 8. 2 drivers, former champions, Allen going for his 2nd career title this season. Additionally, you'll have Lucas Lodato in 3rd, Ryan Potter in 4th. Ryan still looking for his first career win. He, for Swamp Motorsports, will start right behind his teammate, the number 64 tonight, so looking to start strong. Swamp, 2nd and 4th on the qualifying pylon. You'll have 5th place in Colton Gardner and Scott Wheeler in 6th. The gap between Potter, Gardner, Scott Wheeler, 2 1,000ths of a second, 1,000th in between for Gardner and Potter, and Wheeler and Gardner. That's how tight it was in the middle section of the top 10. Furthermore, you'll have Dawson Buchanan in 7th and Adam Bozzi, who's in 8th. Dawson getting oh so close to that first victory. He has been a top 5 contender ever since the Chicago street circuit, and now just looking to fully break through. Take a look a little bit further back in the order. You'll have Chad Winstead, Jimmy McKee. They end out the top 10. 11th place will be Corey Blevins. 12th is going to be Tyler Hampton, and 13th place on the running order will be Terry Brooks with Dylan Poteet, P14. 15th place is going to be Tyler Snyder with Matt Muir. Then 16th, 17th place, Jason Harris, and Connor Holden finds himself 18th. 19th and 20th, Kenny Brooks and Ty Smith. And as they round out the top 20, few more drivers that are with us tonight. Matthew Rodriguez in the 01, and Kendall Kerr in the number 21. They'll be 21st and 22nd tonight. Last 2 drivers on the overall grid, it will be 23rd, Jacob Hahn, and 24th and last, Austin Bloom. The entire field setting qualifying times, and 22 of which separate by less than a half second. Field is quick, tight, and packed together with skill as we are set to go green here in Phoenix. That's a look at your starting grid. And now as we take a look at the field, they're heading through turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Start-finish line at an angle here in Phoenix. We've been here before. We've seen it happen. Last time, though, we were with the Gen 4s. This time around, Alan Cummin in the SP Designs number 8 gets a chance to lead the field in his Xfinity Series Chevy Camaro. 1 extra lap for drivers to prepare here, so let's talk about the track conditions at the mile-and-a-half venue. First used in NASCAR Cup Series competition in 1988, Phoenix Raceway has become the host of the NASCAR Championship weekend. This track tonight going to be pretty mild in terms of condition. Forecast-based weather, it will change, but starting tonight with partly cloudy, mostly cloudy skies now at 85 degrees ambient temperature and an 86 degree Fahrenheit track temp. Winds are southeast bound at about 8 miles an hour, and the relative humidity low at only about 17%. As such, drivers shouldn't worry all too much about the track conditions. It all comes down to how they manage the next coming 125 laps. Keep your eyes on it. If anyone can do the one-stop strategy tonight, it is feasible, but not going to be easy with those extra 5 laps caked on top of what would have been a perfect 125 lap split. So it's about time that we get going. Alan Cummin to the bottom side, DJ Stagner right up top, getting going again with their championship leader at the top of the board. Green flags out in Phoenix, and right through the dog leg, Cummin, he's going to hold on and, of course, gain that advantage. Alan Cummin quickly challenged after opening the first 2 turns with the race lead. Looks like DJ Stagner now is going to have control, and with him his teammate's going to find himself up to second. Swamp Motorsports for the first time this season is running 1-2, and a great start for the campaign of both the 64 at number 99. Impressive to see Ryan Potter running up strong at the front of the pack. He's a driver that's benefited most often from superspeedway style racing, done well at tracks like Daytona, Talladega beforehand, and maybe tonight he's going to be able to break that cycle. Up into second, of course, qualified strong in 4th. Outside front row, both of which for Swamp Motorsports, now they're leading the way, and they put Alan Cummin right behind. Lucas Lodato remains now inside the top 5. Of course, he's in 4th as a result, and the number 7 is going to hold it high on Dawson Buchanan here. Dawson having no choice but to let that number 7 go. Chad Winstead might be coming through with a little bit more of that assistance in the number 1. Some of the throwback paint schemes still on Chad Winstead, one of which who's hanging on to his. Dawson Buchanan, another caution's out for the first time tonight, and let's see why. 5. Back up the field, perhaps. Drivers are going to get settled in again. Adam Bozzi calls the caution. And we're going to figure out exactly what caused it. Yellow flag on the day for the first time tonight, and it looks like Connor Holden, perhaps. We're taking a look all the way back here as drivers backed it down for the first time. Yellow flag called. And the middle of the pack doesn't seem to be all too chaotic here. We'll run back the tape a little bit further as there's no signs of many damaged drivers. No big pack of those. Yes, there is an incident, and it looks like it involves primarily Connor Holden, who drifts down to the bottom of the track and saves it. It's a safety yellow, and we'll show you one more in-depth replay to give you a little bit more of an angle as to how it was. On board with the 81, Connor Holden here. He got tagged, spun down, and that is the incident at hand, the first caution of the night. Sliding down, and of course, able to keep it out of the wall. Great control in that regard, but of course Connor now falls back to 24th and last. No major damage that you would see on the car anyway. The paint scheme doesn't make it easy, but the only significant damage would be tire wear. He's going to have to get himself a new set of rubber. He already went down, as a matter of fact, to pit road, so Connor getting his first stop in, although it looked to be a pretty brief one in the pit box, so I don't think he took tires just yet. All things considered, first caution on the day is now out of the way. Connor Holden and company already going to be involved in the minor one. Nevertheless, we'll put the field back together, re-rack them and stack them again as DJ Stagner's your race leader, and Ryan Potter, his teammate, finds himself up in front. One lap to green, Stagner and Potter will hold control, and it'll be Alan Cutman and Lucas Lodato, the new second row. And so we'll re-roll the field once again. Swamp Motorsports getting away with a very strong start, perhaps their best of the season so far, while DJ Stagner's proven time and again to be, of course, a race-winning contender no matter where we go. Ryan Potter has unfortunately been more so the weaker link. He's had more success in the Integrity Racing League on Mondays and Tuesday nights. Thursdays have been his Achilles heel. However, he's looking strong in this start, and we got a chance, of course, with this restart to see whether or not that is proven in the long term. Restart number 1, this time the teammates hold both lanes inside and out, and we'll see what DJ does with that power. He'll get the launch early. Alan Cutman's gonna match and best Ryan Potter, though. Looks like the inside does reign supreme, and Cutman is back in second for your opening restarts. Alan Cutman on the bottom, up top Ryan Potter. So the battle for second, it was brief and it looked like Cutman had the advantage, but Potter seems to have the speed. Might have enough to maybe challenge his teammate here as he gets up to the back bumper of the 64. Ryan Potter coming alive early, but he's got to deal now with Alan Cutman, who's going to slide to the inside yet again. Take a look at Chad Winstead, Dawson Buchanan, and then you have Chad Winstead, of course, defending upon this battle all the same. Tyler Hampton, Lucas Lodato, they'll be side by side for the first time tonight. And what is going to become of this fight in the long term? Something I don't think we can necessarily answer just yet, but for Tyler Hampton, he's going to keep on making gains here. As slight as they are, as small as they are, they could mean a big difference. Hampton able to do what, of course, Alan Cutman did. 2 consecutive victories, the dominant man at Homestead. Tyler Hampton is a driver to watch out for in seasons to come, and he's only getting started in his second full-time campaign, finding race victory in all 3 of his seasons that he's attempted at least one race in season 16. He won it, he won last season, and he won this season already. He is a driver who has been remarkably consistent in finding victory lane, maybe in a way akin to DJ Stagner as of these most recent seasons. Not necessarily the top title contender, but when it comes down to getting victories and finding ways to win, they're similar in that they will always find a way to at least get there once. I think Stagner's more interested in doing it again, though. He's not making it easy for his teammate, and both of which are running with each other, but it doesn't mean that they won't be running against each other. Those two things can happen at the same time. They're teammates, and it's going to be friendly competition. Emphasis on the word competition here. Ryan Potter stays right on the back end. Going to send the 64 into turns 3 and 4 again. He'll have the bottom, as does Ryan Potter, and they'll both make it through as the sun beams down on the circuit here at the Phoenix Raceway. Sunset is expected to fully transition the day into night. It's going to take a little while to get there, of course, but as the sun simmers down, you'll see the stadium lights come alive in the next 15 or 20 minutes at very most. Not a lot of time in this race, and that means that most of this race should be run with at least some sunlight. Now, if you take a look to the back of the field here, we'll figure out whether or not these drivers benefit from that, or if, as the night goes on, their performance will get worse. Dylan Poteet is one of those drivers who I think might benefit from the track changing and eventually simmering down. Dylan is the man who won in Season 16. Last time we were at this venue, and we were sort of shocked to say that Dylan wasn't inside the top 10. Of course, qualifying isn't always indicative of where a driver finishes, but for Dylan, 14th place after winning at this track in Season 16 is a major departure, more than halfway deep into the field, and yet so far he's made it up into the 9th place and might be looking for more, already coming up on the Dent Wizard 97 in Scott Wheeler. So Dylan's got a lot to look forward to in terms of making an advantage of it this race anyway, but time will tell whether or not he can do so. Dylan has found victory lane many a way before, perhaps one of the best drivers at circuits under 1 mile in length. That's something that Dylan has proven to find pretty simple in finding victory lane. Season 14, North Wilkesboro, also getting the job done previously at Phoenix. He's well known for these tracks under 1 mile in length, finding ways to win. In all honesty, given what we've seen so far, Dylan could do so once again. Just comes down to whether or not he can get through this single file train up and in front. Chad Winstead right now going to be defending upon Tyler Hampton. Got Dawson Buchanan working up a little bit higher. And so far, it looks like Buchanan here is going to be running solidly. He's up 1 spot on the day so far, 7th up to 6th. And right now, he's going to find himself in the midst of some of the fastest drivers all season long. Let's talk a little bit more about what's going on with the season championship format. Alan Kunman right now does have the title lead, but that's not a lead that is, of course, impossible to lose. Of course, right now with Alan running up in 3rd, it's a very strong start to the night, but it comes down to Alan Kunman and Jimmy McKee. The Blacktop Racing teammates right now are the number 1 and number 2 title contenders. So far, Alan Kunman, 2 wins. He got them back-to-back. And so far, Alan Kunman has run the most laps on the season, 1,173, and counting as of right now. He's going for 1,174 when he crosses the line right here. He came in with 1,155 just for reference. So, Allen has not only, of course, seen the most miles and the most laps, he also has the most points. He is currently going to find himself tied for the most wins, has the most top 5s, and he is second most on the top 10 tally to his championship rival and teammate, none other than Jimmy McKee. When it comes down to the numbers, it's pretty clear that the best drivers, all things considered, have found themselves to the front of the points pylon. I mean, Alan Kunman, no fluke this season. You could say he and Jimmy McKee were the top championship contenders the year that Alan won his first. It was early 2023, and it was season 15. Alan won 2 races. I would say, though, Jimmy McKee and Scott Wheeler, who ironically are running 8th and 9th right now, they were the top dogs for the title. However, it was a Final Four format, which meant Alan Kunman got away. He was the best finisher on the championship finale night, and he was able to come away with the title, even if maybe it wasn't his best effort this year, though. Certainly significant improvements on that front. Jimmy McKee, while having the most top 10s, maybe not as impressive a season, though, as Alan. And we say that because while the top 10 number, of course, coming in at 10 is the most of anyone in this series, that is 10 out of 11 right now, the peripheral numbers are not as jaw-dropping. No wins so far for Jimmy McKee. And when it comes to drivers inside the top 5 in points, only he and Chad Winstead share that characteristic. Winstead being your defending champion, Jimmy McKee, a driver who has never gotten it done. Winstead now looking low on Tyler Hampton and making the move. Might have to look a little bit lower now on Alan Kunman if he wants to go for that second straight pass in this lap. Doesn't look like he'll get it now. McKee has been remarkably consistent, and with consistency being key, it's great, but a victory, he just hasn't been able to find it yet. Incidents, of course, these drivers have avoided. Only 47 incident points so far for Alan Kunman, and 43 for Jimmy McKee. And for reference, if you look even further down to the top 10 of the championship pylon, you'll see drivers with more than 65 incident points, which is about a time and a half. Incident points are calculated by iRacing. Most often, contact gives you a 2x, heavy contact gives you a 4, going off the track gives you 1. So over the course of 11 races, including, of course, Bristol, last time we went at it, and now your 12th race, having only 40-some points over thousands of laps and thousands of miles is not an easy task. DJ Stagner right now, I don't think he's worried all too much about incident points or anything of the matter. 18th in points. Either way, he's already found himself to victory lane. 1 win, 2 top 5s, and 4 top 10s. Not a full-time championship contender by any means, but DJ Stagner running away and letting his teammate do a lot of the defense on the back end. It's still Ryan Potter second, but starting to see that onslaught of drivers competing against the Swamp Motorsport number 99 team. Enter Alan Kunman and Chad Winstead as well. This is when it gets intense. The number 8 is going to go high, the number 1 is going to go low, and Tyler Hampton is going to be staring down the 99 all the same. Everyone's coming together here, and Ryan, not well known for holding his own under the pressure. The tire wear, the lack, of course, of support from his teammate who's up and ahead and leading, and of course going on right now, those drivers who are going up against him, a former champion, a defending champion, and a multi-time race winner this season. The odds are stacked against Ryan Potter here, but it doesn't mean he won't survive. Coming through turns 3 and 4 all over again. It looks like right now Ryan Potter's hanging tough, but the job's not done. 27 laps in, Alan Kunman is now going to find the first break in the system, and he'll head down to the bottom fast, bringing with them Chad Winstead and Tyler Hampton. And now Chad Winstead's going to be going up top on Alan Kunman. It looks like Alan is going to drop back slightly. It's going to be 1 spot, of course, lost. Ryan Potter's going to survive this one. It looks like Kunman, with a little bit more ambition, will be the driver that actually pays the cost in this case. Now Chad Winstead is the shot to go after the 2nd spot, and it looks like patience proved key. Ambition doesn't always work out when it comes to Phoenix, so not a lot of groove you can use, not a lot of banking. As a result, the inside most often seems to be the way to go. However, you can use the very deep inside the dog leg. That's something we saw at the very start of the race. However, you might notice most drivers have decided to stay on the banked pavement for the time being. Dogleg is always a choice drivers can make, but it is not mandatory, nor at one point was it even possible. In the last 15 years, we've seen the dogleg come into play. It's a track condition that has only existed because Phoenix Raceway has been fully paved all the way down to the infield of the circuit, which means pit road exit no longer has grass alongside it. Instead, it is all asphalt. So if you end up sliding down there, you're fine. If you end up doing what's Chad Winstead's doing right now, that is completely legal. And it might not look that way because there's a yellow line and it is not dotted, but it's not the rules of the interstate highway here. You can go down as low as you want as long as you don't touch pit road exit, which is practically impossible. You can't touch the commitment line. By diving down deep correctly at pace, you can really use all that groove if you want. It might not benefit you. I mean, Chad Winstead now actually finds himself gridlocked, but Tyler Hampton will decide to do the same thing. And yes, you can go by the blue line on pit exit. What is, of course, intended to be avoided is the pit road barrier line, which, yes, you can also go down to the wall, but as long as you don't hit it, there's really little incentive in going that deep. Tyler Hampton right now, side by side, still with Chad Winstead. It looks like Winstead hasn't given in. Both drivers deciding to try the dogleg, although it looks like Hampton getting the better of Winstead as he'll try to do it once again, going down to the bottom. The big advantage in using that dogleg is trying to cut the distance and maybe shorten up the time of your lap. In many cases, the results may be exaggerated if you play a video game or if you go on a simulator. iRacing, though, reflects it pretty much as it is. You're going to go down, you're going to maybe save a little bit of time just by cutting distance, but you might lose some pace. The banking is going to carry you around the track a little bit quicker. You don't have to think about readjusting your steering wheel, and it's going to cost you some speed, and that's why Tyler Hampton right here, now that he comfortably has the position, will decide not to go for the more aggressive move and hang on to his spot with his current track position. So he will decide to do the normal thing, shall we say, and keep himself exactly where he needs to be on the track without diving down to the dogleg, which is still optional and can be used, but unless you absolutely have to, most drivers will decide to abstain as we come out of turn 4 once again. Corey Blevins in the number 24 also running strong, and Corey having a little bit of a resurgence as of late. Talking about Blevins in his season, it hasn't been all too impressive, admittedly. 9 races run, 25th in points, no top 5s or top 10s. So why do we talk about it as if it's a resurgence? Well, Bristol Motor Speedway and all the short tracks he's always quick at. But something interesting happened, if you don't recall, we'll refresh you. DJ Stagner actually grabbed the pole position at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Disconnected immediately. Corey Blevins was going to start up inside the top 5. He missed his heat and did not race at all in the main feature. Unfortunately, that cost him significantly for Corey Blevins in the points pile on, but moreover, it means that one of his best races, in effect, didn't really count, although yes, he gets credit for attempting that night. Blevins is the driver that could have a top 5 in the books if, of course, that did not occur, and right now he might be going for his first top 10 of the season. Meanwhile, Tyler Hampton, side by side with Chad Winstead and Ryan Potter. Potter, I'll tell you this much, doing a wonderful job of sticking with it, but Hampton at long last has gotten his way around for the second spot. So as the battle progresses, it looks like maybe Chad Winstead's going to have a shot to go through with Ryan Potter coming henceforth. Let's see what happens here. Number 99 has been able to hang on for the first 37 laps, more than halfway of this stint, and only has lost 1 position from his absolute peak. Keep in mind, Ryan Potter did not start in 3rd, nor did he start in 2nd. He started in his all-time low spot of the day, 4th place. So overall, everything's been a net gain so far for Potter, who is still, interestingly enough, looking for his first ever FTN podium. We've seen him for the better part of 100+ nights in the Integrity Ignite, Octane, and Highline Racing League, so we've seen him in many series before. A top 3 has continued to elude him, and it might just again with Chad Winstead dive into the bottom once more, but he can't quite complete the pass. Alan Cummin, while losing spots, has not lost pace. Alan finds himself in the 5th spot right now. Pole sitter? Yeah, but it doesn't look like he's been able to hang on to keep that spot. Just comes down to how he'll perform in the next portion of this event. Next half coming very soon. Number 1's going to head up top, going from the dogleg once again. Looks like Chad a little bit more confident with using that bottom groove. Most drivers have decided not to do just that. Matthew Rodriguez battling alongside Tyler Snyder here. Tyler going to be running in the 15th spot. He's going to be, of course, a driver we've seen a few times before up and in front. Hasn't gotten a podium so far this season, but the 87 has been solid to this point. Talking about Tyler Snyder's campaign, he's gotten 3 top 10s, no top 5s, and no victories. So while not an astounding campaign so far, certainly has put himself in solid positions for solid races. Nothing more than that, but an above average campaign all things considered compared to most drivers in this series. He is right now 12th in the championship standings, and with a good race tonight could move as high as P10. That all depends though whether or not he can get a little bit further up, because right now for Snyder it doesn't look like where he's at will be a saving grace in moving higher in the championship table. It's going to take a little bit more than a 15th place finish where he is now to get to that point. Very close battles all throughout this tail end of the pack. Austin Bloom got by Terry Brooks. You look a little bit further behind. Connor Holden, unfortunately, still going to be falling back further as a result of that early incident. Started in 18th tonight, and you'll see all the way back down to the mid-20s, a high of 16th when he was involved in that caution. Unfortunately, minor damage, but major track position loss sent him all the way back to the tail end in 24th and last, making up 3 positions so far, but he's now the second to last driver on the lead lap, so that's not a good place to be in the slightest. Maybe Connor can keep on gaining and making some more moves, but that caution, even if it wasn't significant damage, has major implications, and that's the real unfortunate part of a situation just like that. It might seem harmless, but you go green time and again, you're not going to be able to make up that time, and we do recall he decided not to go down for tire. Took fuel. No tires, just gas here for the number 81, and that call might be haunting him now. He'll have to wait a long while. It's going to feel long anyway, 20-some laps to go down to pit road and do it all over again. DJ Stagner is out in ahead by 4 seconds right now. Major advantage. Last time we checked up on DJ, he had about a 2-second race lead. It has doubled so far. It looks like DJ's only getting better and better, more confident and stronger in his racing. All the while, the number 5 of Tyler Hampton here, well, it looks like he's got himself in second. Third place, Ryan Potter. Chad Winstead in fourth. Alan Cunman is P5. These drivers, of course, the 8 and number 1, go toe-to-toe once again. Dawson Buchanan gets a great view and about the best seat in the house right now in the number 4. Buchanan is going to find himself watching the sun continue to set. As it looks like right now another sunset paint scheme. Alan Cunman just ahead. It's the battle right now for 5th. Dawson runs P6. And taking this lap on board, you'll see the different lines drivers are deciding to use. Alan Cunman and Chad Winstead noticeably different throughout the corners. As it stands right now, it looks like the number 1's deciding to go much higher through the opening corners, and it looks like that's not only going to be through turns 1 and 2, but turns 3 and 4. They're trying to use that wider radius maybe to build up a little bit more momentum. It's not a bad strategy call by any means, if it saves tire, of course. But it also means there could be a chance for the number 8 of Alan Cunman to dive bomb low and maybe take some spots away. 47 laps in out of 125. Dawson Buchanan still there 6th. Lucas Lodano is in 7th. If you take a look on from Ryan Potter, Ryan has remained in 3rd here while Tyler Hampton has gotten away. From the deck lid though of the number 99, you can see clearly it is not easy. Going to be nearly 3 wide with Cunman now pushing on Chad Winstead. Ryan Potter is still going to hold on, and very interesting that Chad Winstead right now has about leveled out with the number 99. Looks like really no major gains or losses from any of these drivers in this battle. Dawson Buchanan more of the same, Lucas Lodano as well, and now 50 laps into this race, I think we're starting to see what happens when the stint comes to a close. Drivers winding down, settling into their spots, and now getting prepared for what's up next, a trip which some drivers are already making to pit road. Adam Bozzi, the first of which, coming in after 50 flat here, is not going to be a good indicator of what's yet to come. If he wants to go for a one-stop strategy, it's basically impossible now. The 27 is conceded on that front and now comes in for pit stop number 1. Very early as the rest of the field decides to hold on out. Now it'll be Adam making his way in alone. at the tail end of the field. DJ Stagner puts him one lap down as soon as we say that. Here's Tyler Hampton, finds himself runner-up, and you got third place in Ryan Potter. Ryan Potter slides, the 99 goes low, second caution of the day, right as Adam comes in. And it looks like the pressure eventually gets to the 99. Ryan Potter brings out the yellow flag for the second time tonight. So you can see now what happened with the 99. Contact just tagged by Chad Winstead, and he's going to be set down the track. Very similar incident, unfortunately, to what we saw with Connor Holden. And that is going to cost the number 99 big time track position-wise. Take a look aboard with the number 1, Chad Winstead here, and you'll see what it was like from the, of course, Ford Mustang's perspective. Here's the defending champ. Ryan was loose, and then Chad made contact, maybe not even aware that he was going to slow up ever so slightly, and that small difference makes a lot more as the yellow flag is out. So, caution's going to fly, field is going to head down to pit road, and there they are. DJ Stagner and company have made it down and in. Let's take a look at what's going on here at the pit exit line and see who makes it out first. Expectation is Stagner will have the advantage. 4 tires and fuel, and that is the case. DJ Stagner beats out Tyler Hampton, Chad Winstead, Alan Cummins, Lucas Lodato. Then it'll be Dawson Buchanan in 6th, Jimmy McKee in 7th, Scott Wheeler 8th, 9th in Dylan Poteet, 10th place Corey Blevins. That's the way they roll out of pit road. Nobody deciding to abstain from pit road tonight. Like a 2-stop strategy is on. Adam Bozzi is saved. He will go back on the lead lap, and it looks like he will be just fine to keep on going. So Adam Bozzi going to be arranged back with the head of the field once again. That's with 54 laps in out of 125. We'll be set to go racing at lap number 56. Stagner still maintains the race lead, but of course, tale of a different race now for Ryan Potter. Ryan now finds himself in the 19th spot, down 15 from his qualifying position, down 16 from where he was running, and down 17 from his highest running placement of 2nd early in the night. Really a train wreck circumstance here for the number 99, and Potter, I'm sure, is especially disappointed with how things have just gone down. 99, of course, Ryan Potter here still has a lot of time to recover, but being mired back in the field, much like where, of course, at number 81 was previously. Not going to be easy. However, talking about Connor Holden, up to 16th again, so maybe a chance to keep on building and get inside the top 15 at the minimum. Green flag will fly next time around. DJ Stagner goes to the bottom, Tyler Hampton goes up top, Chad Winstead, Alan Cummins are there to follow. Number 64 again takes the inside, which had a much better launch on the opening restart, and it looks like that's going to prove to be the trend of the day. Tyler Hampton was about neck and neck with DJ Stagner's pace in the next portion of that run, the second portion of the opening run, shall we say. And while DJ built up about a 4-second lead to kick off the race there, Tyler, maybe now on level footing and even placement, has a chance to keep him very close, if not make it a battle for the race lead straight up in this next stint. It's time to move on to about lap number 60. Halfway point is coming up soon, and now we're going to figure out who has what it takes to go out there and compete for the victory and see who can get the job done. Hampton's going to be high. DJ Stagner will be down low. It's time to go back racing again and see who's got what it takes as we go for our second stint of the night. Green flags out for restart number 2. Back on the way. DJ gets the jump. And Chad Winstead now jumps into second. That's how good the insides had it. If you run down low, you are perfectly clearing away. Tyler Hampton more so is going to come through as well. Lucas Lodano then fourth. Jimmy McKee fifth. Then you got Alan Cum and company further on back all together again. Now it's going to be interesting to see how far they go down the dogleg. Kendall Kerr almost going 5 lanes under most drivers. And Lucas Oil Chevrolet, well, it's not a Chevy tonight, it's a Ford Mustang, trying to make some moves through and get further up in the pack. Blacktop Racing, a few drivers up and ahead. Of course, they have Jimmy McKee in 5th, and then, of course, Alan Cumming now in 7th. So, Kendall Kerr trying to be their 3rd driver inside of the top 10. He's going to dive even deeper once more, taking it all the way down to the bottom of the dog leg. Is going to take another spot away. Kendall Kerr now up to 10th, and that's how you use the dog leg effectively. When everyone's in the hornet's nest and everyone's oh so close to one another, and you can't have your own room up on the top of the track, take it down to the bottom and escape. That is where you will gain time, and of course the speed will be relatively the same. Big contact, Terry Brooks sliding, Tyler Snyder sliding. Yellow flag is out once again. 87, a miracle he's not hit by anyone else on the way, but Tyler Snyder involved in yellow flag number 3. Cautions out once again. Take a look back and you'll see exactly what happened here. Snyder in the 87 involving himself in this one, and we'll figure out whether or not there's any major implications like damage. Looks like Brooks just got loose and slid up into him. Terry saves it. Very minor contact, perhaps from Austin Bloom, and Bloom got away. One other spins in the back. Looks to perhaps be Jason Harris got away. Ty Smith on pit road. Adam Bozzi going through. So we'll take a look back one more time, and it might have just been Ryan Potter who went sliding. Take a look with the 99 here, and we'll figure out whether or not Ryan just got in an incident. And Ryan loose, spins on his own. That's what's going to happen. Then hit by Jason Harris. And the caution is out. 3rd time today, and 2nd in the last 10 laps. Now we're coming up to the halfway point exactly here. DJ Stagner holds his own as race leader. No drivers decide to go to pit road here up at the front of the field. Meanwhile, further on back, looks like more the same. No decision to come in, at least yet. Now Tyler Snyder looks to have changed that. He just gone on his way out, and he'll be finding himself at the tail end of the field as a result. No gains there for Ryan Potter. As a result of the incident, according to timing and scoring, he will find himself in 17th. Nevertheless, Connor Holden is up to a high of 14th after the initial yellow flag. It's taken him a while to get there, but it looks like at long last, the number 81 is indeed making gains. DJ Stagner, though, leads the way here. It is going to be 2 laps to go again, so we'll go green at lap 64, which is a lap indeed only 1 past your halfway mark tonight. Now, we might just see 3 cautions from here, but more than halfway in, we've been mostly clean and green. It would be a shame if that's the way things go. DJ's been dominant all night long. Talking about the laps led tally, well, so far he's led all but 1 lap on the day. That's how good DJ's been, and that 1 lap, that comes down to going on a pit road here. So DJ Stagner, he has been the man to beat, and it looks like that has not changed even with these continued incidents coming back and forth and back and forth. Now we're going to use that choose rule. So up to the top or down to the bottom, and DJ Stagner will choose his fate. Down low, DJ's going to take it, and it looks like as he dives down to the bottom, he'll bring with him Chad Winstead again. A few familiars now getting down and low once again. Repetition, and Stagner confident with the bottom. Lucas Lodato back inside the top 5. Started in 3rd tonight. A very strong run for him at the ovals. Hasn't gotten that left-turning win this season so far. One dominant win of the Chicago Street Circuit. Now a chance, of course, again, to go back for victory lane. Let's see what Lucas can do, as the number 1 of Chad Winstead is just ahead of him. You got, of course, DJ Stagner right alongside. We'll go racing once again for restart number 3 as we go back at it, lap 64. Leader is the number 64 car and DJ Stagner, so let's see what this inside group has as DJ and company still maintain control. High side going to be strong, but not nearly strong enough to get it. Oh, contact in the back of the field, Colton Gardner. We will have another caution. It looks like yes. Gardner involved. He was turned fully. That's why the yellow flag's out. Take a look at this. So the number 40 of Colton Gardner immediately upon the restart is going to get involved, and this is exactly what happened. Looks like number 40 involved in the accordion stack-up. Ryan Potter again, then Tyler Snyder. That will send the number 40 spinning. And Ryan Potter going to get some more damage. Again, no faster pair, so for the 99, that front end damage is going to take an awful lot to work off. And now we're starting to see the chance for race victory for Ryan anyway. Maybe fall out of sight, which is a shame. He ran well in the opening 50-plus laps, but now looks like everything is turning against him very quickly. So a stack up on the restart brings way to yellow flag number 3 here. DJ Stagner getting a chance to do it all over again. So the field is going to be tightened up. A few drivers went to pit road very recent, most recently of which Jason Harris just about 2 laps ago. Jason going to be on some young rubber. Same was for Tyler Snyder. He's going to even get himself a newer set as he goes down to pit road once again. Tyler going to top off. Colton Gardner decides to head to pit road all the same. And now more drivers happen to come in after recent incidents. Unfortunately, you don't want to see the yellow flags become common, but with incidents happening time and again, gotta worry that we will see more cautions breeding cautions. Something that happens many a time in motorsport and at Phoenix. Unfortunately, it is common as well. So we'll see what the field can do as DJ Stagner leads him in again. 2 laps to green, and we will decide once more as now single file for the final time in this caution period. Biggest mover inside the top 10 right now. We 14th up to 6th in Dylan Poteet. And again, season 16 race winner is making gains. He's up 8 on the day, going from 14th up to 6th, so nearly inside the top 5 from starting nearly outside the top 15. Goes to show that number 31 team has no quit. And with yellow flags coming and bunching these guys up once again, now, you gotta wonder, maybe Dylan has a chance to put himself in and, of course, rewrite history and put him in his name once more. Season 16 was his win. Season 18 still could be. Long time coming, though, more than a year of waiting to return to Phoenix. Still a chance to do so again. DJ Stagner to the bottom, and he'll go once again. Every restart and every jump he's gotten, all off the inside. DJ's been remarkably consistent with regards to using the bottom, and Lucas Lodato decides to join the team down there. Lucas, on the last restart, he decided to go up top. Now he'll decide to do something a little bit different, falling back into 5th as a result. But we'll see if the inside pays off a little bit more than track position here. Advantage maybe going to be in the favor of that 48 of McKee right up and ahead of him. This difference could make some changes in the running order for the long term if, of course, we get back into a rhythm. It'll be Lucas Lodato, Chad Winstead, and DJ Stagner on the bottom again. And as it's been all night long, DJ is the race-leading driver. Time for a restart. We go right past the Geico restart zone. Barney the flagman waves it green. Back on our way, 69 laps in. Nice jump there for DJ Stagner as we go past the dog leg. Lucas Lodato going to stay there with Jimmy McKee. It looks like the advantage does lie indeed with the 48 this time through. However, that might not be the case at the line. Lucas Lodato going to make it rather close. They'll be side by side. Big contact back in the field. Yellow flag is out. And looks like once again, very close to making it a lap. Colton Gardner and company, not involved. Connor Holton, though, once again, yes, he is. So, let's take a look now and figure out what happened with the 81 involved in his second incident of the day, as we're getting into a little bit of a rough period tonight. The 81 of Connor Holton, unfortunately, finds himself involved in his second caution. Matt Muir, 81, going to get involved and will spin, and Connor Holton does as well. Muir's going to slide out of the way. Holton gets contact and damage. And as a result, yellow flag is out. Two drivers involved and afflicted the most. And the Busch Light Chevrolet, at long last, gets going again. Take a look from the back end of the number 81. We'll give one final look, maybe a better vantage point as to how that contact came into play. And you can see the spin already right there. 2 seconds beforehand, this is what it looked like. Both drivers slide as a result of that contact. Matt Muir and Connor Holton alike, so a race and deal with both drivers involved, and the yellow flag is out yet again, 4th time. In last 20 laps, we have spent them almost entirely under yellow. Really unfortunate to see an entire block of racing taken away due to caution after caution after caution. It can't go much longer than this. Chance we still see more. A good opening stint. Ever since that point, though, been a little bit hectic here in Phoenix. Last 20 laps, seen 4, of course, yellow flags on the day, and we have just been under yellow from that 50 lap point onward. Adam Bozzi might get the biggest advantage of all of which, because he found himself 1 lap down when that began, now up to 17th, and although it's not a big gain, he has not had a lot of time to make that gain. It really just comes down to trying to make some quick moves in the opening portion of the yellow flag restart period. That's not easy at all, especially when drivers are wrecking all around you like we just saw there with Matt Muir and Adam Bozzi. Drivers drifting up uncontrollably up to the high side of the track, and that is not anything that you can really control by your own means, but it does mean it's much more dangerous to go out there and aggressively make passes. Unfortunately, that's going to slow down these drivers and motivate them to push a little bit less inside the cockpit. So, we'll see a little bit more of that less aggressive attitude hopefully play into the form of the mid-pack and back as well. More conservative action might give us longer green flag periods. "73 laps in out of 125, and with the last 20 laps ran under yellow, starting to wonder, is the one-stopper still possible? These drivers have been saving quite a lot over these last few laps, and if you're really paying attention as a driver, you might already be clutching, you might already be coasting, you might already be waiting to get up to that high gear and drop it down low when necessary to rev match and get going again into second. Go through the Geico restart zone time and time once more. We'll go through the Geico restart zone again and expect some drivers to shift down from 4th to 2nd once again. Number 64 DJ Stagner is going to find himself all the way now the inside as he's been all night long. Bottom groove has been the key to success, and that will remain the same. DJ Stagner gets the jump, restart once again. Hopefully we get through. The field is clean this time, and the dog leg is rather filled. Contact, Austin Buchanan. Will it be major? It looks like right now drivers hang on, but they sure got loose. Matthew Rodriguez barely gets away, and the caution is out again. Yellow flag's out. We surely saw contact, and we're going to take a look at what just happened once more. Taking a look a little bit further back in this incident, and you'll see, well, unfortunately, 5th yellow flag. Kendall Kerr goes sliding, gets out of the way of everyone, and minor damage, maybe some back-end contact if anything, but again, he's going to be taken right in the middle of the field, and they will be able to split him almost perfect. Still horrible for Kendall. He's going to fall back and lose track position, but another yellow flag and another slide. Take a look at this again. Just got loose. Contact with Buchanan, and then, yes, hit by Austin Bloom. That's where all the damage came from, and Austin gets it as well. So, Kendall involved in yellow flag number 5 on the night, and so we'll get going once more. Kendall Kerr gets away. Let's see what happened there, though, with the number 3, Austin Bloom. It looks like he falls back to 22nd on the chart, and he's going to be on the lead lap currently, but that front-end damage will be detrimental. Reminder, no fast repairs means that will last for the rest of the race, a lot like what we saw with Ryan Potter just a few laps prior. So, this is bad news already for the number 3. I think he's going to have to act on it, and that he did. You're still watching the replay. He went down to pit road. Take a look at pit road right now. Looks like currently, Kendall Kerr is going to be next up and in. DJ Stagner, he's going to lead the way as we now have 2 laps to green again. And it's very unfortunate to see the yellow flags come out time and time in and out of these laps. It's been past nearly 30 consecutive laps. Ran under caution. We had a great green flag stint, and now we're starting to see these laps just wind down without any green flag racing. 30 laps under yellow, basically speaking, and then you had the better part of 50 laps ran under green. It's becoming more of a 50-50 race, which is not anything you'd like to see at all. With the cautions mounting and racking up, we might just see more. Bad news. One lap to go this time by. DJ Stagner going to be leading. Tyler Hampton will be in second. Chad Winstead P3, and Jimmy McKee finds himself 4th. Lucas Lodano is going to be the 5th spot, of course, and Alan Cummins is there 6th. We'll see whether or not they go to the high side or the bottom once more. DJ gonna ride low, and with him, the number 5 of Tyler Hampton will decide again to go up top. Maybe Tyler's gonna do something different, of course, in the next coming restarts, if we have any. He's tried the high side for the entire night, and while it's gotten him up to 2nd, it has not currently got him ahead of the 64, and that might be the one thing that's stopping him right now from straight up running away. Can't get the restarts down because DJ Stagner in the control line has been in perfect shape. iRacing pace car, let's go once again. The field having a few troubles and struggles as of late. Last few laps have not been the best. Now it's time to go green flag racing again. DJ Stagner still going to have that same front row with Tyler Hampton. Jimmy McKee now finds himself ahead again of his teammate in Alan Cummins. Here we go. The 64 going to be working the bottom, and the green flag is out. Now we get going. The 64's got it on the low side. Tyler Hampton up top, and it's going to be nearly 3 wide as drivers get the jump. And it looks like at long last, we should be good to get at least 1 lap in under green. The field offers no promises, but it looks like this time they get away much stronger. DJ Stagner is going to break out to the race lead, and he's got himself the advantage. Then you got Chad Winstead and Tyler Hampton now battling each other for P2. And as you can see, the inside once again breaks away for the advantage in the second place fight. So 80 laps in out of 125. A few laps really skipped in the midst of all the yellow flag laps. Lucas Lodato now going to go down to the bottom on Tyler Hampton here. And Tyler didn't get a chance at all to warm up that rubber. Is that going to play as a disadvantage for the 5 team here? It looks like struggling much more than what we saw in that opening stint where he was able to walk his way up in a second rather comfortably and didn't see any threats from particularly the number 7 of Lucas Lodato, but among others in the field, Chad Winstead or Jimmy McKee, who were all up inside the top 5. Of course, Hampton started in 12th to get up here, so it's surprising to see now he's been passed. It looks like now conditions changing, maybe better drivers in different circumstances, and Chad Winstead might be one of those who comes alive at night, and now he might be up next on DJ Stagner in that 64. DJ, one of the best at this venue, and it's no surprise to see him up at the front of the pack once again. The inaugural Integrity Ignite Series champion dealing with this circuit before. Above all else, DJ has been there and he has done that with this track. Now the question becomes, does he have what it takes to hang on against Chad Winstead, who looks to be coming on strong much later in this night? And this is something we didn't quite expect to see, but the inside group again did get the advantage. Might notice Lucas Lodato still going to be there in 4th. Hasn't quite found his way, of course, on the high side or low to get around Tyler Hampton, but setting up the shot, something to look out for. Jimmy McKee ahead right now of Alan Cunman. One position doesn't make all too much of a difference, but those slight gains might be enough to keep the championship race within close reach. Reminder, of course, that these two drivers, the 48 and the number 8, lead the championship, 21 points separating the two of which right now Alan Cunman, who is in 6th in this race, he has the advantage in the championship. Then of course you have Jimmy McKee 5th in this race, 2nd in the championship points. The two are teammates and they have a serious chance at going ahead and going 1-2 in the championship. Tyler Hampton have Chad Winstead, those two might be the only that stand in their way, but they're still currently further behind. Chad is going to be 41 points back on Jimmy McKee, and a little bit further back behind, you're also going to see 47 back in Tyler Hampton. So the points are pretty much in the favor. Oh, big incident. That might have just been Kendall Kerr. It was not, but another driver with a similar paint scheme, Ryan Potter again, involved in an incident. Take a look at this. Further back in the field as we go for our instant replay, the 99 of Ryan Potter looks to be the man involved, and this number 99 has gone from bad to worse when it comes to this race, and unfortunately really has gone astray from what could have been a potential top 5 finish to going through turns 3 and 4, and Corey Blevins was the man who goes. Ryan's still going to drop out of pace, but Blevins, I think, is done for the night based on what you're seeing there. Take a look at this. Blevins might have to park it as a result of this one. Corey Blevins in number 24. You saw him down low with Kendall Kerr. Connor Holden, contact once, twice, right hook up the track. Don't believe that was intentional. We can take a look inside the cockpit of Connor Holden to confirm, but it just looks like those two got hooked up and stuck together. Unfortunately, that's going to cause Blevins' night to basically end without much control of it. And just trying to shake the steering wheel clear, unfortunately for Connor Holden, couldn't clear himself of at number 24. Pit road got busy and most drivers decided to go down and in, some of which, though, chose not to. Adam Bozzi is your race leader. Wow. And you know, if that race lead, of course, never became a battle, well, it would have been because there would be no yellow flags. But if there was no yellow flag, Adam Bozzi would be probably one lap down at this point in the night, and most likely would have no chance of winning no matter what happened from here. However, 88 laps in is a shock, but it looks like a justifiable one, that Adam Bozzi is your race leader and has a chance to maybe go all the way. But an emphasis on the maybe here. He's got 8 drivers to really back him up, and it might be a few less because right now DJ Stagner finds himself, of course, one of those who went down a pit road. Most of these guys who just went in, well, they were on a 30-plus lap run, coming up on nearly 40. They had to go. Adam Bozzi, a little bit different of a circumstance. He went in before them, but also was in the back of the field, had a chance to maybe refresh himself, as Adam right now is on a 15-lap run, or a little bit longer than that as it stands now. Will come up on lap 20 when we go green, but he's on a younger run than what those other drivers were on. We've not had a lot of green flag laps. Track position might be effective enough where this does not impede upon the 27, only can help him be more successful. So the choose rule back in effect. Let's see what the 27 decides to do. Matthew Rodriguez might decide to go with. Is he going to follow that code, or will he do what Tyler Hampton's done to DJ Stagner? The answer, well, a little bit of both. 27 Bozzi goes high, and DJ Stagner not in the mix here. 0-1 of Matthew Rodriguez heads down to the bottom, and Ken Lokur is now in the third after just barely escaping that incident. .90 laps out of 125, coming to green for lap number 91. Few yellow flags, of course, in that little blip. This is yellow flag number 6, which will lead to your 6th restart on the day. Let's see now what DJ Stagner can do, as the 64, of course, is going to be further back. Leader of those on new rubber is going to be, currently speaking, it looks like, yes, the number 64. Official pylon tabulation, of course, is going to give Adam Bozzi the race lead as he decides to stay out and do something different. Alternate strategy call might be the way to go to win this event. Big stack up, you could see there. It's going to be an accordion effect on the inside and outside. The only driver who gets away is Adam Bozzi, and he will get through easily on the rest of the pack. Double file for the majority of the field here. Kendall Kerr going to dive to the bottom. Can't quite get there on Matthew Rodriguez. Matthew already dropping back quick. He's going to drop down to the apron here. Gets loose. No caution going to be called as he will stay straight. But as you can see now, Matthew Rodriguez all the way back outside the top 15. Might fall out of the top 20. He's in 20th right now. And if there goes the number 99, he might be 21st. And the difference between 2nd and 20th, just a few moments and one mistake. Meanwhile, now it's Lucas Lodano charging for the race lead. DJ Stagner coming with alongside Terry Brooks. Here come new tires. It's going to become a thriller from here. Number 23 is going to find himself side by side with Jimmy McKee. New race leader Adam Bozzi no longer in control. Cautions out again, 7th time. Incident in the back of the field. We'll take a look again at what happened. And taking a look all the way at the tail end of the pack, Scott Wheeler and company perhaps around the incident. And that'll give us more of a clue as to what just caused the racing to stop. Tyler Snyder involved with Dylan Poteet and Scott Wheeler. Poteet slides. I think Tyler Snyder gets the worst of it, but he actually gets away ahead. He just had a nastier slide. Take a look at this. Snyder still gets through. And the 87 hit by both and locks it down, keeps it straight, and goes again. You'll take a better look on board with the number 87. Calm, cool, and collected. Unfortunately for Snyder, him getting hit actually caused the both other drivers involved to hit each other again. So Snyder gets the luckiest out of all of it, even though he was hit last in the first cycle. And that will bring us under caution once more. Yellow flags out as we are still waiting on what's yet to come. Lucas Lodano, your leader. DJ Stagner in second, 95 laps in out of 125. We got a little bit more time in between and before we go racing again. So 95 laps in out of 125. We'd like to thank our partners at FTN Broadcasting for bringing the coverage to you. We'll give you a little bit of FTN non-stop coverage before the green flag flies once again, and we will be right back after this.
Boundless makes its presence felt. It will not be ignored. We're helping turn ideas into reality with a wealth of building products that take every architectural style to the next level. This is what it's like to imagine, build, and transform anything we want into exactly what we seek. This is what it means to be boundless.
Time to go green for lap number 98. And as it stands, well, we're coming to the tail end of this race, whether the drivers like it or not. 29 laps to go. Number 7, Lucas Lodano has no quitting him. With 29 laps left and track position in his bag, this could be a victory. Maybe not just on raw pace, but just on finesse. Number 29 machine not going to be with us, but the number 7 is 64 alike, and the 48 of Jimmy McKee now is on the front row. Time to go racing once again. Lucas Lodano is going to have the edge, and the green flag is out. Big jump there for Lodano. Here we go. Lucas gets the advantage. Lucas now is going to have himself up and ahead. He's going to have DJ Stagner, though, right there, trailing in P2. Wonder what's going to happen now for DJ and Jimmy McKee, who raced second and third very briefly. Looks like, of course, Stagner gets the edge rather quick. Wonder what happens next with Dawson Buchanan. 27 laps to go, going to quickly become 26. The tail end is rather near. Even for a driver like Connor Holden, that's a big shocker. Connor Holden is up inside the top 5. What a wonder for that number 81, who has done oh so much just to get to this point. What's up next for him? Can it be now? Maybe a race victory after being involved in multiple yellow flags. He has been waiting a long while just to get back up to this point and have a chance. And now he's here. The 81 has been waiting, of course, lap after lap, hoping for an opportunity, been diligent about it, but it also comes to show that even with yellow flags and being involved in incidents, it's still possible to get back up. Connor was involved in the first caution more than 100 now laps ago, and now that he returns up to the head of the pack, it looks like he's put all that behind him and is going to set aside the previous woes to give himself a shot. He's going to be battling, and while he might be losing a few spots along the way, a top 10 is more than possible now for the 81 crew, which looked to be almost undeniably out of the picture when we began this run even 20 laps ago. Connor's here, as is Kenny Brooks for the Westlake Road Building Products crew. You got Terry Brooks a little bit further back in the mid-pack where it is still very intense. Dylan Poteet going to be right there with Scott Wheeler, as is Jason Harris, Matthew Rodriguez and company. Lucas Lodato here, and at number 7, I'll tell you this much, he is up and ahead, and while might not be by far, he does have himself a good shot right now, just to hang on and maybe take it to the end. 23 laps to go this time through. 1 lap next, and it'll be 22 laps to go, presented by TrackCams22.com, iRacing's leading camera service with the highest quality cameras, bringing you the best coverage since 2022 in the Highline Racing League. Visit Facebook.com/TrackCam for additional information. And we are, of course, going to crank it up with 22 to go, courtesy of our friends at TrackCams22.com. Let's get live and loud with your friends at TrackCams Performance as we crank it up from Phoenix. Yellow flags out and DJ Stagner involved, so this one, bad news. Crank It Up going to be postponed. The 64 leading contender all night long. It looks like he's involved in it. Take a look back as DJ is involved in a major incident. Now we'll only have less than 20 laps to go to seal the deal. Up at the top of the wall, of course, that's where he hit. A little bit more of what just left to it. DJ just went down to the bottom. It looked like he used the dog leg, and that was fine. Then, things get worse from here. Contact with Lucas Lodato, sliding up to Chad Winstead, spinning at the head of the field. And it looks like a little bit more contact as he went down. Kendall Kerr gonna slide as well as the number 21 went spinning, as did a few other drivers. Bad news all around. There's Kendall Kerr who got going. Kenny Brooks, Austin Bloom and company. Yellow flag flies for the 8th time tonight. "20 laps to go. When we go back green, it will be only 18. There's not a lot of time left. Drivers know it. Lucas Lodato, Dawson Buchanan, Connor Holden and company. They understand this is it. Now DJ Stagner, very unlikely he's going to get back up here and go for the victory. Connor Holden, 1 victory so far in the campaign. Got it done in Talladega, as did his teammate Ty Smith in Daytona. As did his teammate DJ Stagner. Already find victory lane as well. So, Swamp Motorsports with a chance to win even if their flagship driver is not leading. Furthermore, Dawson Buchanan, Lucas Lodato looking for their first oval victories on the season. Dawson Buchanan looking for his first ever Highline Racing League victory. Straight up, this could be major. For both of which, that's what it all comes down to here. The final moments, these last laps, taking advantage of which, Matt Muir up inside the top 5, Dylan Poteet in 6th, Scott Wheeler 7th, Adam Bozzi 8th, Terry Brooks P9. A lot of these drivers you have not seen, including Jason Harris in 10th, most all night long. Now, serious chance that they can go the rest of the way. 7 of Lucas Lodato holds 4. He'll go down to the inside as most others have. No, he might not. That's the one thing. Lucas Lodato's done the opposite of what we saw of DJ Stagner. It's no confirmation. He could try low, he could try high. This time, yes, Lucas goes to the bottom. Looks like confident with the low group this time through. And so they're side by side again. 18 laps to go. Connor Holden's 81, Lucas Lodato's number 7. Ready to do battle. We'll give you a brief crank it up in the next coming laps thanks to our friends at TrackCams22.com. They've done a wonderful job bringing the angles tonight. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of trouble with, of course, that yellow flag, but now you'll get a chance to see exactly why TrackCams22.com leads iRacing broadcasters with camera quality that is network television equivalent. Here we go. 17 laps to go as we go for restart number 8. Lucas Lodato on the bottom. Connor Holden up top. Let's go racing with 17 laps to go. Green flag's out and we get the jump with Lodato holding the advantage. Caution's out again. Tyler Hampton, Kenny Brooks, and that will be a brief crank it up. Caution's out for the 9th time tonight. Now you'll see just what happened as Brooks and company get caught up in it. And this takes out former race-leading contender in Tyler Hampton, and you'll see there they're always stacked up, so let's see what happened just a few moments before the incident got hectic. Lucas Lodato maintains the race lead. Now you'll see Connor Holden is up to as high as 2nd, and Dawson Buchanan is P3 on the pylon. But back in the tail end of the field, Hampton and company. Time to go it again. And this time, it didn't take them all too long to find Ensign Austin Bloom up to Rodriguez, up into Tyler Hampton, and then collecting Colton Gardner and Kenny Brooks. Harsh hit for all 5 involved. That's going to cost them all a chance at victory, especially Tyler Hampton now, who's got serious damage. I don't think he's got much a shot to go the rest of the way. Unless he tries to barely hang on to the lead lap, but that's about the best he can do here. It's not going to really mean all too much, and talk about the championship picture, that might be the difference between having even a chance to contend from here on out and the title race being out of the way for the number 5. So as the laps wind down, the one driver who's getting the best out of it will be Lucas Lodato. The fewer laps he has to deal with, and the more time he has up in front, the more comfortable he'll be with a chance of going all the way for victory. Will be win number 2 of his season. Time for the most on the category so far, alongside Alan Cummin and Tyler Hampton. And he's done them rather quickly. Chicago Street Circuit, one and only road course. He proved to be the best man there. And now Phoenix, where maybe not the best, hasn't led the most laps, but coming on strong late. When the sun sets, that is what matters. We'll go green with only 12 laps to go from here. That's what it comes down to. A dozen to do it, and it'll be the number 7 as your race leader. Emma Ox in chat room rooting for the number 27 of Adam Bozzi. Adam is back in 8th here, so don't count out Adam, who has been a former race leader, as low as 22nd, involved in a few incidents, but has been able to recover to get back up inside the top 10. Adam is not done yet, has a chance to continue succeeding tonight. Maybe a top 5 is on the table now for the 27, if not, underdog shot at the race win. Lucas Lodato and company will bring us through once more. Lucas having the chance to choose high or low. He's done Many a thing before. Up high, he's gone to the bottom. This time, choose the bottom again. Looks comfortable going low, and it looks like that will be his place of rest for these final restarts. Might not be the last one you're looking at here. We still have room for maybe 2 more restarts. At the most. Perhaps 3, which would be an overtime attempt. Double file as we are set to go at it. iRacing pace car is going to drop low, and it's time to go racing once again. Number 7, Lucas Lodano, is going to be followed now by former Phoenix winner Dylan Poteet, Dawson Buchanan. So it's going to be stout company on the bottom, but still having to compete with Connor Holden and championship leader, pole sitter, Alan coming up top. 12 laps to go. Time to figure out who's got what it takes, and it's a huge jump on the way for the number 7. Lucas Lodano gets the advantage, and it looks like Kendall Kerr crashes big. Yellow flag is already going to be out, and Kerr is destroyed. Caution flies. Take a look at why that just happened. Looks like a single car incident, although Kendall most likely got some help as a result of this one. And yes, maybe a little bit from the back end of Chad Winstead that time by. So, Kendall Kerr going to get caught up in that one, and the yellow flag is out. Here's a look on board with the number 1 of Chad Winstead at the time of the wreck. And that will end Kendall's night. And while Chad not having a lot of course, damage on him, the number 21, it's night over for Kendall Kerr. He's going to park it, get it off of the track, and that will be the day for the 21 crew who worked hard to get to this point. Unfortunately, going 100 plus laps, 115 laps, just was not enough. 11 laps to go when the field comes across the line for 10 laps remaining. A little bit of time before the green flag flies again. We'll give you a few more messages from our FTN partners and associates one final time as we will give you FTN non-stop coverage. We'll return before the green flag flies yet again, and we'll be right back after this. You're watching the Phoenix Raceway and the Highline Racing League, and we'll return after the following message.
This message is brought to you by the rebrand of Throttle Graphics and Designs. This publication may not be reposted without the authorized written consent of Throttle Graphics and Designs. NASCAR Camping World Ford F-150. NASCAR Xfinity Ford Mustang. NASCAR Cup Series Next-Gen Ford Mustang. Arca Menards. This has been the publication of the redesign and rebranding of Throttle Graphics and Designs. This message may not be reposted, republicated, or rebroadcasted without the authorized written consent of Throttle Graphics and Designs. Thank you, and thanks for your time.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Lucas Lodano and Connor Holden have held on for the top two in the last 20 laps, and their persistence has been just enough to maintain till perhaps the very end. 7 laps to go. Victory is near for both drivers. Maybe someone like even Dawson Buchanan or Alan Cummin. All those who still remain, just about 20 of which on the lead lap, are still holding fort and ready to go at it once again. 7 laps to go. This could be it. And with 7 laps to go, number 7 is your race leader, as DJ Stagner was with 64 laps on the docket. Now, it looks like Lucas has his own turn. Will he be able to finish the job, though? Still not confirmed, as it's the outside line once again stacked up. Lodato gets a great restart for the 9th of the day, and we're moving again in Phoenix. Dylan Poteet working the bottom, and you'll see Scott Wheeler there, the number 97 right width, side by side. These two drivers working each other over, and you've seen Terry Brooks, Scott Wheeler alongside each other most the entire night. Now they got a new player to work with, DJ Stagner, getting in the mix again. And if DJ wants any chance for even a top 5, he's got to make moves big. Keep in mind, any yellow flag from here will send us to overtime territory, and that will mean one and only one green-white checkered finish. Anything after that, the race will end prematurely on caution, and we'd hate to see that occur, but it still is, technically speaking, possible. 5 laps to go. DJ Stagner now going to dive deep on Chad Winstead, Tyler Snyder alike. That's going to be a chance to maybe move into the single digits, but he'll first have to work around Terry Brooks. Lucas Lodato, 0.4 of a second right now ahead of Connor Holden, has a shot to hold on to finish off the night. Big incident, Scott Wheeler. We're going to overtime, and the 97 into the 99. Ryan Potter, DJ Stagner. It is a total swap motorsport annihilation, as the caution's out with 5 laps to go. One last look as we have our final caution of the night. We end up at 10 on the day, and this is why. So the incident in question in the middle of the field here, hard-charging DJ Stagner and company, all getting involved. Stagner into Brooks, hooked into DJ Stagner. You see Winstead, Jason Harris, and Ryan Potter all catching a piece there. Taking a look on board with Jason Harris will be interesting. He mostly got away, but he did have to go right through. And while Harris, of course, had to go through it, it looks like he'll get away mostly unscathed. The rest of the field behind him, not so much, and so it's time for your final yellow flag of the night. Rules of this one and only overtime attempt will be a simple green-white checkered. However, no extensions. This is the final extension of the race length, no matter what. As a result, well, this could go many ways. We could get to the white flag, and if we do so on the white flag, then the race is official. We race to the checkered, even if there is another incident. Additionally, yellow flag means the race ends and we go the full distance of the extension period, but the results will already be calculated and taken care of based on scoring loops. Drivers just have to putter and pace around to get to that distance. Not going to be easy to get to that point. Of course, we've taken 120 plus laps to get to this area. So, 2 laps to green, we will have a race finish extended to about lap 127 as a result of these final advancements. One and only extended green, white, checkered, yellow flag on the night. Lucas Lodato surely looks like the man to beat. And if he just holds on for 2 more miles under green, that he will be for his 2nd win on the season, matching his total from last year, getting the job done in Montreal, of course, as he did in the Chicago street circuit. The oval victories have come a little bit tougher for Lucas Lodato, and we weren't quite sure whether or not he'd be able to finish one off and get another win. Looks like tonight everything's fallen to his favor, and so far Lucas has done a wonderful job in the second half of this race, becoming the next best driver. 31 laps led so far, maybe not the best of drivers today. DJ Stagner leading a multitude of laps higher. However, he's not leading now, and it looks like based on his damage, he will not be able to lead again. Lucas, however, has a chance to finish it off. Dawson Buchanan high, Connor Holden is right behind. This is it. Final chance, final restart. Lucas Logano just has to hold on for 2 final miles to win in Phoenix. Number 7 crew is going to hang on to the inside for this last yellow flag and the last restart of the day. No other extensions from here. Whatever happens, happens. In the field, they know it. Green flag goes to a green, white, checkered. Final extension, one and only overtime attempt. The number 7 Logano is going to get a restart that's well enough to keep the lead, but Connor Holden dives deep. Here comes the 81. It looks like a solid restart for the number 7 will not be enough to maintain the lead. Contact up high. The 87 looks like he's going to get himself in the mix for the top 5, but the number 4 of Dawson Buchanan now goes low for the race lead. 1 lap to go. Final lap as Connor Holden holds the advantage as he comes with a white flag. 1 lap to go. This race is official. Dawson Buchanan now finds himself just below Lucas Logano. Holden up and ahead at a non-superspeedway circuit. Contact between Logano and Buchanan. They're rubbing fenders through turns 1 and 2. Holden won last in Talladega, and it's been a long time coming since Connor's gotten it done outside of the full throttle tracks. Tonight, Connor Holden defies expectations. From 18th on the grid, Connor Holden wins at the Phoenix Raceway. It's his 2nd win on the season, and what a way to return a victory. And perhaps the most unexpected 2-time winner, won at Talladega, wins again in Phoenix. Connor Holden leads 2 laps on the night, and that's all that matters for the number 81. What a victory. Connor Holden working overtime for that one quite literally. And Swamp Motorsports still comes out with the win. Connor rather quickly heading down to pit road with his teammate Ryan Potter here. I think they're going to try to find a way to victory lane. That looks to be the goal right now. And Connor Holden going to continue burning it down. And the 81 going to call it after a brief burnout and celebration. Checkered flag is going to fly in Phoenix. Get a word from your top 3 competitors very soon, but let's first talk about the race results from tonight's event. Connor Holden wins over Lucas Logano in 2nd, and getting away with the podium tonight, Dawson Buchanan in the number 3 spot. 4, of course, on the driver's number pylon. Then you'll have Matt Muir in 4th and Alan Cumming in 5th, Adam Bozzi P6th, and Dylan Poteet in 7th, Jason Harris 8th. 9th will be Jimmy McKee, and Kenny Brooks is then in the 10th spot. 11th place is Matthew Rodriguez. 12th is going to be Scott Wheeler, Colton Gardner's 13th, and Ryan Potter's 14th place, with Tyler Snyder 15th. Terry Brooks P16, and Chad Winstead. Then after him in 17th, Tyler Hampton, the 18th spot is his. DJ Stagner comes away P19 after leading the most laps, and Kendall Kerr finishes in 20th with 21st Austin Bloom, 22nd Corey Blevins, 23rd in Ty Smith, and Jacob Halm 24th and last on the night, as Connor Holden returns to victory lane for the second time this year. Let's talk to your winning driver from the Phoenix Raceway. Already standing by with us, the number 81 brings Swamp Motorsport back to victory. For the second time, the 81 team is on top too. Connor Holden winning at Phoenix. How's it feel?
Oh, well, that was exciting. We had no business even being in the top 10. So that's fun. And kind of wondering if it's going to stand right now because of some restart drama, but I had no clue how we got up there. I'm just glad we stayed up there. Fantastic night from Swamp all around.
And you mentioned it, Swamp Motorsport's dominant today. You had troubles, though, from the beginning, all the way in the mid-20s, to get back up inside the top 5 to begin with. And what a challenge it looked to be. How long, when we saw how long it took 50-plus laps, and even more than that. How did you do it is the big question for us, and we'd like to know what you thought out as the night went on.
The same thing that is under review as restarts, so kind of just stuck it to the top on new tires while everybody was on 2 and no tires, so it ended up in our favor, and we ended up in a good spot. And on the last restart, just lick the stamp, hope it sticks, and glad we didn't wreck.
And avoiding all those yellow flags, we saw you were involved in a few of the early incidents, kept it clean from there. You and Lucas Lodato, so close for the victory there. How are you feeling about that green-white checkered in your pace?
Didn't feel good about the pace, but just so happy to hopefully get a win here, and hopefully it stands. I feel like we've been really close the last 3 races I've done. Finishing second at Talladega, and we had the lead late at Bristol, and it got away, but. Lately, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling pretty good.
And reason to feel good, Connor, getting so close to becoming a consistent winning contender. The 81 team back on top. Tell you this much, any final comments or thoughts you'd like to get after this event?
Yeah, I love everybody, so we'll start there. But especially Ty Smith, DJ Stagner, Brian Potter, Dylan Poteet, and want to thank everybody at Bush Light, Holden Wieners, and of course Jim's Breakfast and Smick Tank and Steel, and everybody check the Twitter. Make sure you all catch a Nimrod of the day. So that's all I got.
Well, Connor Holden, the number 81 team, getting to the checkered flag tonight here in Phoenix. Thank you again for your time.
All right, thank you.
And now the number 81 crew on the way. Connor Holden gets the job done. Unofficially speaking, these results have not, of course, been verified. We'll talk to Lucas Lodato, though, right up next in the number 7. And it looks like this race coming down to a green-white checkered finish. Lucas, tentatively speaking, you come away in second. How was it out there in Arizona?
Yeah, well, I fully expect to have the win before the end of the night. He was at least a car length and a half below the yellow line at the start finish line coming to the green. So hopefully the rule book is followed and we end up getting the win out of this. But anyway, yeah, it was a good run. I knew that, saving my stuff throughout the beginning was going to be good, and just getting it to nighttime, was going to be the key. And I feel like we did a good job of that as a group. On that last pit stop where the big chunk of the field came in, I took 2 and some others took 4, and it jumped me up to the lead of that group. I had a fly-in restart and made it up to second, I think, and then I was behind my teammate, who was on old tires, and it was easy to take the lead. And then from there, we had so many caution laps that it was just restart simulator, and I was fine with it. I was in the lead, so just kind of unfortunate how that goes down at the end, where I don't get to have the win at the flag and celebrate like I should be able to. But I can't really necessarily blame him for going for it. I'm sure he didn't mean to do it on purpose. He just forgot the rule, I'm sure. So, um, I'm not gonna call him a dirty cheater because he's definitely not. He's a good dude. So, it happens. So, um, yeah, hopefully, like I said, we can get that cleared up and have the win before the night's over. So, yeah, but overall, good night.
And before the call, of course, is made, we'll see where it swings. Talking about your race in particular, started third, and tentatively speaking, you find yourself in P2 here. So, well, a tale of two races, honestly. First 50 laps were clean and green, and then from there we saw yellow flags consistently back and forth. Really, tires and fuel meant very little from that point onward, although, do you think your final stint run of a 39 laps, do you think the tires made any difference?
No, because Connor and Dawson and Matt were all on 4. They pitted at the same time as me, and me and Alan were on 2. And I know we had a lot of caution under that, so I guess it's hard to, tell, for sure. But I guess in this case, it didn't matter, and I wasn't really worried about it mattering because when I pit on lap 87, my left sides were 99 each. So I really wasn't too worried. And actually, I'll look at them now and see where they were at. They were finished up at 98 on the left rear, 97 on the left front, and 92, 95 on the right side. So they really weren't too bad there. So yeah, I knew that 2 tires was going to be the play. I just I was glad that it came to fruition the way it did.
And everything pans out for the very least a podium so far. 2 races left from here on the calendar, and a chance for what could be, of course, another victory coming up next. Getting a good run here at an oval, and if not this week, you got one more 1.5 mile circuit coming up. Any final comments or shout-outs you'd like to give before we move on to our next event?
Yeah, thanks to everybody who was watching. Thank you to my girlfriend Lily for watching as per usual. Thanks to you for putting it on. I'm excited to watch it back, and thanks to everybody who puts the league on. Thanks to my teammates, everybody who helps us out. So,
Lucas Lodano coming away, at least for now, on officially second place on the night from Phoenix. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see what the call is and whether or not it will be made in favor of Lodano or Connor Holden. Tentatively speaking, it is Connor Holden, your race winner. One thing is for certain, Dawson Buchanan coming away with the podium. The number 4 team, oh so close to victory, within a second at the checkered flag. Dawson, how was it out there?
Oh, that was a ton of fun. I mean, that whole last restart there was it was a lot of highs and a lot of lows, but just overall, just great race and a exciting finish.
Of course, we saw how close it was. Battles all throughout the track in the very final moments. For the number 4 team, it looked like tonight maybe a chance to break through for victory. It wasn't easy, of course, seeing restarts back and forth, although it looks like you adapted pretty well to it. Restarts being so important, saw you choosing high and low, seeing the differences. What do you think made the biggest impact for you in the later going?
I think there at the end, just about had a longer green flag run. It would have helped out. I think that the tires, the 2 tire call, I think by whoever that was up in front there, that was an amazing call, and it ended up working out in their favor. And just never having the laps to take advantage of the 4 tires was, I think, the biggest difference there.
And it looks like the 4 tires able to hang on pretty strong. Lucas Lodano taking 2. Most others around you also taking 4 here. At the nighttime conditions at the very end, a little bit of a difference. Do you think you were stronger with the race pace or the qualifying conditions based on what we're seeing here?
I think, I don't know, that when the laps started, coming in and the track was hot, it felt really good. And then as it got, like you said, into the night, it tightened up so much, and it felt like with 4 tires, it was getting really tight, and it looked like those guys on 2, it was kind of making their car a little looser, and it was kind of evening out and almost driving like it was before the night.
That said, getting even closer to that first career victory here, Dawson, and time running out on the season. 2 races left. Now, with that being said, got another chance at a 1.5 mile circuit. How do you feel about that coming right up?
I feel really good. I can go out there and qualify well, and keep it clean all race, I think I have just as good of a shot as anybody.
Dawson Buchanan keeping up the good runs. Third place on the day here. If you have any final comments or shout outs, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to my spotter. He got me through all that carnage there, and thank you to everybody watching.
Well, Dawson coming away P3 here in Arizona. Thank you again for your time.
Yep, thank you.
Now, Buchanan on the move. We've gotten a word from your top 3 finishers. Dawson Buchanan finishes 3rd. Lucas Lodano then comes home in 2nd. And your race winner, Connor Holden, in the number 81. Unofficially speaking, the results may change by the end of the night. Although we're hearing some rumblings of that. No guarantees at the checkered flag. It was Connor Holden ahead at the line. So with that said, 2 races left on the calendar here for the Highline Racing League. Next of which, at a 1.5-mile circuit, whichever it may be across the United States of America. Tune in, same time, same place, Thursday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern to find out a little bit more. And with that said, we'd love to have you there. The Westlake Royal Building Products Premier Series. You've been watching the Highline Racing League live on FTN. I've been your host, David Kreutz, commentating and producing. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. From the virtual Phoenix Raceway, you hope, of course, that you enjoyed your coverage. Leave a like on the stream, subscribe once again, and we hope you have a fantastic night.